Welcome to World's Wildest.
Hello.
Hello. Your favorite nature podcast that does not have an intro.
I like it.
Audio listeners, you're missing out big time today. I am wearing really cool pants, right?
Yeah, they're cool. They're dinosaur pants.
Why did you say it like that?
You look like a kindergarten teacher.
They're cool dinosaur pants. I thrifted them, and I'm very proud of them, and I'm very excited. I'm also very excited for the content of today.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be a weird one. My research this week was weird.
I mean, you already started telling me some weird research papers earlier. So
I did. You guys want to hear about it? We heard you guys like the yapping, so I'll tell you about this. I read a research paper today about the conservation of pubic lice. They're endangered because they
have less habitat.
Undergoing habitat loss because people are shaving too much, and there's not enough host-to-host transfer because people are not boinking enough. So
do it more.
If you want to be a freaking conservationist, stop the first thing and do more of the second thing.
And do you have to go out of your way to find it? Should you? Should you like buy it and transplant it?
If you want to be radical about it.
This was like a real paper that she was reading. It's a real paper
about the species recovery plan for pubic lice.
And it gaslight me into thinking that if I'm a real conservationist, I should probably start doing this as well.
If you were real for the bugs, you would be trying harder. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. I will try the transplant next week and I'll let you know how it goes.
Disgusting. Don't tell me that.
I'm being a conservationist.
Welcome to World's Wildest. Today we're going to be talking about some of the worst parents. This was a viewer suggestion, as per usual, from Anne Luong 694 on YouTube. World's Worst Parents. Animals who have interesting parenting methods. Interesting is not what I went for today. I went for bad.
I went for brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Shall we wait before? Did you guys know that we're on Patreon? Did everybody know that?
I hope so.
We're on Patreon. Our content is ad-free over there.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have mugs, by the way, if you want a mug.
Very nice mugs.
They're cute and fun and fresh, and you can have one for yourself.
I have a question for you, Maya.
Yeah.
Do you think you would be a bad parent?
Yeah.
I think so too. Yes.
No. Realistically speaking, okay, I don't love being around kids, but if I had a parent, I would do a really good job.
If you had a parent and you had a kid.
If I had a child, I would do a really good job. You don't think so?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should find out.
I've had a Tamagotchi since Christmas and he is kicking.
I've seen the plants. Actually.
Plants are different.
I mean, you do let a lot of plants die.
Yeah, but that's different.
How's that different?
Because they don't.
They're living things. If you can't take care of a plant, how can you take care of a kid?
I take care of Tamagotchi because I'm emotionally attached to it in ways I don't get emotionally attached to plants.
Oh, okay. So if you're emotionally attached to the kid, then you'll be fine.
Yes, and I would be.
Do you think I'd be a good parent?
Yes.
No, I'd be the worst parent. What are you talking about?
I think
I'd be yelling at him all the time to stay hard, stop crying, get up, do some push-ups. Yeah. Go out, clean this. Yeah, why are you playing video games? Get back to work. Dig a hole.
Okay. I think realistically we would actually both do a really good job.
Well, you're being very nice. Thanks.
But let's talk about some of the creatures that don't do a good job, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay. My first one are Dracula ants.
Okay.
Okay. They're tropical ants. They're found in Madagascar, Central Africa, Southeast Asia, Australia, and Malaysia. They're
all over the place.
All over the place. They're cool looking. This is what a Dracula ant looks like. Audio listeners, it's like a deep orange ant with huge mandibles.
And like little speckled, cute little dots all around.
Yeah, they're cute. They have the fastest animal jaws on planet Earth.
That's cool.
Guess how fast they snap their jaws together?
I don't even know how to equate that.
In miles per hour, please.
69.
Meters per second, if you'd rather.
I don't know that one.
200 miles an hour.
Oh, my God. Okay.
90 meters per second. They can snap their jaws together.
That's crazy.
We have a video.
It's very fast.
It's not a very good... Okay, let me explain before we watch this video. It is in like slow motion, but they do it so fast. The video is just stupid. I just play it, whatever.
Okay.
It's an ant, and he bites...
And he just disappears? What happens?
He bites this like tweezer, and he just launches himself. Because it's metal.
Right.
And it happens so fast, he just flings himself away.
That's a lot of power to store up into there. Oh my God.
So cute. Okay, so why do they have jaws that go that fast?
I don't know. Probably to suck some blood because they're vampire ants.
Oh my god, I was like, how do you know that?
You told me the name.
They're called Dracula ants, right? No, so they use their jaws to kill and stun prey, right? So they like kill other bugs. They cannot chew solid food. Like they can't eat those bugs.
Wait, can you give me your best Dracula impression?
I don't know what he...
Ooh, I want to drink the blood.
I don't think I need to do it anymore.
Okay. Sorry, continue. That was not very good.
They can't eat those bugs, okay? They kill the bugs. You know who can eat them is their larva.
Ew, weird. Okay.
So the adult ants, they have those mandibles to kill, or the jaws to kill the bugs.
Yeah.
But they cannot eat them. Their babies can eat them. They do need the nutrients from that bug that they cannot eat.
Okay. I'm tracking.
So then they feed the bug to their baby.
Okay.
So then, to get the nutrients,
the baby throws up into their mouth.
Dracula ant.
No, they don't suck them. Oh.
They drink the blood from the larva.
Oh. Like dead? Like
no.
just kill their larva? Oh.
No. They just make a bunch of holes in them.
They're a bunch of parasites.
And drink it out, and then they get all those nutrients, and then they throw it up and give it to the queen that way.
Oh.
Yeah, so worker ants
unique
harvest larvae, which they will tear open, and then they'll drink their blood. It's called non-destructive cannibalism. I would argue it actually is pretty destructive, but it's not lethal. So the larvae survive. They're just like partially eaten, and they have lifelong scars.
Oh, sad.
From that happening. They're like a live food storage, a food processor, if you will.
And then they grow up, and then they do it again to their babies, and ants hurt other ants. That's sad.
Hurt ants hurt ants. This is from a paper titled Metabolic Division of Labor in Social Insects.
It's
cyclic.
Arguably not the worst title I've heard in a science paper.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
Say it one more time.
Metabolic Division of Labor in Social Insects.
That is interesting, yeah.
Pull up a picture of a Dracula ant doing its business on larva.
Oh, sad.
Isn't that crazy?
It is very weird that these ants, because it's like this specific type of ant that does this. Like I've never heard of it.
There are other things. Parasitic wasps do this as well.
But like other ants, I mean, there might be a few other ones that kind of do this, but like as a whole, it's not the main strategy for ants.
No.
Which is really interesting evolutionarily that they got to this point.
Well, it's sick evolutionarily.
Yeah, I mean, they get to divide up their metabolic duties.
Larva.
And they can focus and specialize on each individual thing, so you can have higher quality of work per individual.
He gets it. Yeah. Larvae and other things that have to undergo metamorphosis, they have like special nutrients and proteins and stuff because they have to undergo that process. So they're like super rich and like dense in those nutrients. And then the adults don't have to put energy into that metabolic behavior, so they can focus more on reproduction.
Imagine like the first ant that like started this species. They're like, you know what sounds good? Drinking my larva's blood.
It would be like, let me put this in a frame of reference for everybody so everybody can understand. As an adult, right?
Yep.
You and me, human beings.
Yep.
Say, Connor, I hate vegetables.
Okay.
Right? But I need the amino acids that come from vegetables.
Sure.
Like I need them to survive. But eating them for me is like painful.
Okay.
I love Kool-Aid.
Okay.
Imagine if Kool-Aid had all of the amino acids and all the nutrients that vegetables have. And imagine my human baby's blood was Kool-Aid. And I could just feed him vegetables and then drink his blood. And I got to just drink Kool-Aid all day. But it had all of the amino acids and nutrients that I need from vegetables. Thanks to my baby. I'm using my baby as a blender.
Where would you, if you had to pick, where would you drink the blood from?
That's a crazy question to ask me.
It's gotta be the hand or foot, right?
No.
Where would you do it?
Where you draw blood from.
Arm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feels like the most clinical way to do it.
Yeah, okay.
To me.
I go for the ear.
Ew.
It bleeds a lot.
That can't be the right answer.
It's like if you scar up an ear, it's not a big deal. But you don't want to mess with their mobility when they grow up. So go for the ear.
Okay, well, do you guys get that, what I said? Does that make sense?
The baby blender, baby in blender. No, baby is the blender.
Baby is the blender.
And you drink what comes out of the baby. You drink the baby's blood. Yes, I got it. Amino acids.
Yeah, good. So that you don't have to eat and process what the baby's processing.
Not trying to make jokes out of it anymore. It is very cool.
I threw up, if you will.
Threw up. Okay, you're good at that.
And handed it to you for you.
Thanks.
And then you get and then Connor gets all that too.
Are you just a transport at that point?
Pretty much. I'm part of the metabolic divisional labor.
You take a little bit of it, and it gets transported to me, the queen, and then they don't add anything to it, probably.
Yeah.
That's cool.
In parasitic wasps, it's just larval storage proteins are considered primary metabolic currency. I just think that the phrasing is wild.
That is cool.
Metabolic division of labor.
But the currency. That's crazy.
Currency.
Yeah, it's currency.
Yeah. So they're bad parents. Dracula ants are bad parents because they suck their baby's blood.
Yep.
And that's not nice. And they make a bunch of holes in their babies.
Yeah, it's not very nice.
Not
very good parents.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a crazy parent, a Tasmanian Devil.
Okay.
Do you know a lot about Tasmanian Devil?
I know what they look like. I know they're in Australia.
And there's a cartoon after them.
Doesn't look like a Tasmanian Devil at all.
Does not. So guess where they live?
Tasmania.
Yeah. They're marsupials. They weigh 17 pounds or 8 kilograms. What do they look like, Maya?
Looks like a rat and a bear. Like a black bear and a rat mixed together.
And like little teefies.
And he's got little teeth.
Yeah, they're very cute. So they are about 2 feet or 65 centimeters long, not including the tail. Can you guess, audio listeners, I've got a tape measure. I'm going to ask Maya to guess what 2 feet is on here.
That's my guess.
She guesses 21 and a half inches. Pretty good.
Why am I so bad at that?
So 2 feet. I mean, that's pretty big. I mean, that's the size, what? Your arm? Yeah. Length of your arm?
Sure.
So pretty big size. They can sprint up to 12 miles per hour or 25 kilometers per hour. Their lifespan is only about 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they're omnivorous and they are scavengers. They're an endangered species, like most things in like New Zealand, Tasmania, you know.
Yeah.
Always with the endangered status. So they are crazy. Like we know Tasmanian devils are crazy. Like we've seen them on the cartoons. Like we just inherently know they're crazy.
Tornadoes.
Yes, exactly. And like the devil gives them that name. But how do they get that crazy? And did bad parenting contribute to that insane behavior? Well, first, let's look at their crazy vocalizations. We have a YouTube video here of what they sound like. And it's not the cartoon like, it's this. Do you know what that sounds like?
What?
You when I ask you to dig holes at Alves.
I know you're gonna say me in some capacity. That was crazy. I've never even thought about what they sounded like.
Which it kind of parts of it does kind of sound like the cartoon a little bit.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of interesting. So,
dude, that in the woods at night, absolutely
scary.
Not.
They're pretty fearless too. Like I mean, they'll come and charge you for sure. And what's crazy when they charge is relative to their body size, the Tasmanian devil has the strongest bite force of any living mammal and they can open their jaws 75 to 80 degrees and their teeth and jaws resemble that of a hyena. So we have a picture of their jaws. It doesn't look anything crazy, but they can pack a punch and they can really bite down. They can crush bone.
Do you have a PSI?
No, it was hard for me to figure out that calculation. Sorry. They're also great swimmers. They don't care the water temperature, the distance, or if there's current in the water. If they want to go across that river, they're going to go across that river. And people will just see them just going. Not much can really take them down. Did you say he's staying hard? Thank you. That makes me so happy. They can smell a carcass from up to a half a mile or 1 kilometer away. So scavenger component there. As a defensive mechanism, they can release a stench from their scent glands that is 4 times more pungent than a skunk.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's apparently insanely disgusting. And I asked myself, why do they even need that? Like, what are the predators in Tasmania? And apparently, the only predators for the young are like owls or hawks, stuff like that. But did you know Tasmania used to have tigers and wolves?
Tasmanian tiger?
In the Tasmanian wolf, yeah.
Yes, I didn't know about the wolf.
Extinct a long time ago. I think the last Tasmanian tiger was like the 30s or 20s. But that's what used to go after them. So now they have this smell to defend themselves against people, really. So
wow,
still a good strat. So that's a little bit of a background on how crazy they are. But no way they could have been born like that, right? Like stinky, crazy, always attacking things, going across water, staying hard. Wrong.
I was going to say it wrong.
Tasmanian devils are some of the worst parents out there. So after a gestation period of just 21 days.
Dang.
Yep, that's fast.
21 days?
21 days. Got to pop them out fast.
Oh, they're marsupials.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So they're like kind of underdeveloped.
Oh my God. Okay. That's fine.
The female will give birth to 20 to 30 offspring, aka joeys. 20 to 30.
They do not have 20 teats. No way.
We're getting to
30?
that. 20 to 30 joeys. Look how cute they are.
6 teats?
She only has 4 teats.
Oh my God. What is the point?
So the strongest survives. It is a blood bath. The first one that gets to the teat and latches on and can defend themselves from the other ones. They have to
what?
They've got to defend their food source from the other, I guess, 16 to 26 other brothers and sisters, and got to fight them off till they die of starvation or dehydration, and or both.
And then what? They shrivel up in there? That seems like such a infection waiting to happen.
Yeah, I don't know why it's spent. The Tasmanian devil spent so much energy to create that many offspring to just have 13% survive.
6.
Yeah, I don't know. 13% survive that. So,
marsupials have a pouch, right? So a kangaroo is a marsupial, an opossum is a marsupial, and when they have babies, they have them in the pouch, and they're hairless and they're blind, and they look like little naked mole rat jelly beans.
And like they come out of the vagina and then have to like travel up the hair to the teat into the pouch and like climb in the pouch.
And they latch on to a teat inside the pouch. And then as they grow up and get bigger, they start exiting the pouch. That's why you see baby kangaroos like peeking out of pouches because they're ready to roll.
Right.
But when they're born and they have to latch onto a teat, they're going to actually just be like little, probably not even jelly beans, like smaller.
Probably.
Little naked things. What are they defending themselves with? Their
kicking
little
them
hands?
Off. Yeah, just
kicking them off?
Kicking them off, staying latched on.
Gosh.
Making sure that only the strongest will survive. So if you kind of have that upbringing, I feel like only the craziest is going to survive. Only the strongest.
Yeah.
Unkind. I'm anthropomorphizing here, but ruthless. Yeah. So it takes 5 to 6 months for the devils to offspring until they are weaned and then go out on their own. So I think Tasmanian devils are the way that they are because of bad parenting.
Yeah.
They're very cute though.
Yeah,
this is
really
them when they're older, suckling on teats, but
wow.
Insane bad parents.
Yeah, that's messed up. You should not put your kids through that.
Nope.
Okay. I have another one that is a really, really bad parent.
Love it.
European cuckoo, common cuckoo.
Okay.
So there's 147 species in this family.
Like the clock.
Exactly.
Okay. Sorry.
They are named for their call. That sounds like a cuckoo clock. We'll play that sound right now.
Oh my God. I've heard that in a German cuckoo clock shop all the time.
Yeah.
My mom bought one. I love it.
Yeah, so that's a cuckoo. This is a picture of a common cuckoo, the one that we're going to talk about today.
They're so pretty.
Beautiful bird. It looks like a pigeon if the pigeon was like designer.
And had crazy dark yellow eyes, orangish yellow eyes.
Yeah.
Looks like
real,
a goshawk, but pigeon.
It does. It's giving hawk vibes. Real sleek, has like some barring on its chest. Just like pretty gray and white and brown bird.
But bad parent.
Terrible parent. You know about these, right?
No, tell me about it.
He's lying. He knows about them. A lot of people know about these. Okay, so they're famous for brood parasitism. So that means that they lay their eggs in nests of other birds. So there are some cuckoos that are non-obligate brood parasites, which just means they'll put their eggs in the nests of the same species. So they'll like go to like unrelated cuckoo and be like, take care of him, don't want him, and then leave, right? But their common cuckoos, the one that I just showed you, they've lost the ability to make nests as a whole. They don't even make nests. They are strictly putting their eggs in other birds' nests of other species. So they literally put no energy into parenting.
Nice. Sounds like my mom.
Lay an egg. Okay, dude. He did not mean that.
She watches. She thinks that's funny.
I said that to her. They literally just drop an egg and then they're like, good luck to somebody else because that's not my problem. Females will copy calls of the host predators to distract it while laying the eggs.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Okay.
So they'll lay the egg when the parent isn't there, and then they'll leave, and then they'll mimic a hawk noise, and the parent will be like, oh my god, I'm going to die. There's a hawk. And then get back and be so stressed they don't realize.
That's so smart. Overload their body with cortisol so they forget.
Yes.
I like it.
Insane behavior.
Is that like
evil behavior?
It's like gaslighting, like extreme
gaslighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, females of some cuckoo species have evolved a variety of egg colors to outwit hosts. So they try to match up the eggs with what the eggs and nests look like. Because some hosts have learned to recognize and remove parasitic eggs. So there's this like coevolutionary arms race between host birds and cuckoos where they're like, this is a pretty good egg. It looks a lot like yours. And the host bird is like, no, that's super sus. Like, I'm getting rid of that. And then the cuckoo's like, oh, shoot, let me evolve to make the eggs even more like yours. And then the bird, whatever.
Right. It's
an arms
really
race.
Cool.
So the degree of egg mimicry and host specialization, it varies a ton. Here's a picture of a couple examples. So the blue eggs are common cuckoo parasitizing common red starts.
Like the light blue eggs. Wait. The
it's
dark
so
blue.
Hard to tell.
The dark blue larger egg is the cuckoo.
Yes.
And they're small. That is really hard to tell.
Audio listeners, think Cadbury eggs, but they're all blue, and one is just a little bit larger.
And
just a little bit larger.
Slightly darker.
And slightly darker. And that is the cuckoo egg. And the rest are red starts. So it's really,
crazy.
Really solid mimicry.
Right.
And then in the bottom corner is a picture of brown-headed cowbird egg with eastern phoebes.
Okay.
Which is the cowbird.
That's the obvious one.
So the eastern phoebe eggs are all white, and then the cowbird has a speckled egg. It's like completely different.
So those birds are dumber, so they don't have to work as hard.
Dumber in a different phase of the arms race, perhaps. In
a
different
very
stage.
Nice of you.
In a different stage
That's very political.
Of the evolutionary arms race. But this egg mimicry thing, it's important. Like, this arms race is important because cuckoo hatchlings will kick host bird chicks out of the nest. Have you seen this footage?
No.
I can't play it, but I took a screenshot of it.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have seen this video, but like the cuckoo will hatch inside the nest with the other egg, like before the other eggs, and then will push them out. That's
a long way to push it out, too.
It's really serious work.
It's deep, yeah.
It's crazy to watch them do.
That they know to do that.
I know. It's like a naked nestling bird, which, peace and love, are ugly as all hell, okay? They just are. And he like grabs the edge of the nest like an old man in a hot tub.
Okay.
That is like struggling to stay in the hot tub. Imagine that.
Okay.
Okay. And he's naked.
Oh.
And he's trying to push a soccer ball from his butt out of the hot tub.
I don't like this analogy.
Is that not what it looks like?
It does. It's very effective.
It's crazy behavior. And they're good at it. And they throw the eggs out of the nest.
That's crazy.
So it's the only hatchling in there, so they have to get fed. And they have the best chances of survival.
W strat.
Insane. Egg mimicry is important so this doesn't happen. But then the next stage, if egg mimicry becomes too challenging, is nestling mimicry. So cuckoos have evolved to mimic plumage, the mouth shape and color and texture, and begging call.
That's insane. What?
Of hatchlings, nestlings.
So some cuckoos, there's got to be like some subspecies or something that specialize in a specific species to get that good.
For sure.
But they do a bunch of different type of species.
They do. Yeah. Superb fairy wrens have demonstrated rejection of parasitic nestlings.
Okay.
So there are some birds, fairy wrens are like, yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some birds who, again, are a little bit further behind on the co-evolutionary arms race that have not caught on and will feed nestlings regardless of their phenotype.
Wow. That is a... So I'm looking at a picture here of a tiny wren.
Think
and
like
a big
little
cuckoo
brown
bird.
finch, like
Quadruple its size.
At least.
And the tiny little finch or wren, whatever, is feeding the kookaburra. Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is... Okay, I'm sorry. Finch, wren, you're kind of dumb.
It's a little dumb. It's pretty dramatic.
But you know what? That is a great mom if it can take care of both all of its nestlings and the kookaburra. Huge mom of the year.
Yeah, if the cuckoo doesn't kill the other nestlings.
Right. Which it's been seen that they can do that.
Let me put this in terms that everybody here can understand again.
Right.
Imagine.
Please no naked men.
Imagine the way the babies are made currently, right? Stork.
Yes.
Drops off a baby at your doorstep. And you answer the door, and the baby is it looks like a baby, but it is 20 feet tall.
Oh. Okay.
And proportionally as wide. And you think, oh my God,
through my door.
This is my baby. And then you take care of it like normal.
But you have to feed it all the freaking time because it's eating so much more than a normal baby.
Yep. But you're like,
well, think it's your baby.
This is just motherhood. This is how it is. That's what this looks like.
You know what?
I hope that helped.
Those moms are staying hard. They're like, you know what? I'm just going to keep working and working and working and feeding and feeding and feeding. I don't need a break.
Yeah.
No, respect.
The last weird thing about cuckoos, because I thought about this today and it really broke my brain, is imprinting.
Yeah.
Because it kind of shatters, this concept shatters everything that I know about imprinting.
No.
Nearly.
It's a bird. Okay, tell them what imprinting is first.
Imprinting is an irreversible change that happens in the brains of baby birds, and it happens when they're babies and they learn what species to identify with. So if a blue jay is feeding a baby blue jay and caring for a baby blue jay, that baby blue jay is going to learn, this is my species, this is who I mate with, this is who I hang out with, and this is how I find food.
I would think that genetically they're probably a bit different than most other birds because there's always exceptions to everything.
Yeah.
And their genetic drive would override everything else there so they know who and what to mate with. But it's still bird on bird. So I would suspect like human on bird, that's not going to work. But bird on bird, you can still have offspring.
Bird on bird, here, okay. If you put a duckling in a pen with an emu, it was a baby duck, it could imprint on that emu. 100%.
Sure, yeah.
And then like do like hormonal behavior with that emu.
But if you put another duck in there, it would be able to do that and it would be more successful and would learn, hey, this actually is better.
Yeah.
I'm still confused.
Yeah. So brown-headed cowbirds seem to rely on phenotype matching. So like, oh, he looks like me, he is me, which that is also breaks my brain. And password-like vocal trigger that unlocks species-specific cues.
Oh. Some
kind of like, here's the magic word, like code 67, and then they open their eyes and they're like, oh my God.
Oh.
That's my people. I don't know. But
That's
recently there was an experimental study where they found male brood parasitic ducks mistakenly courted females of the host species instead of their own in like a lab setting. So it, if nothing else, shows like a very, very difficult to evolve behavioral algorithm, because you're right. It's got to be something like in there, something genetically that they have evolved a very long time to match up, which also means that they're definitely reliant on each other, which also gives me anxiety as a conservationist.
I feel like you just have to look at these as like an exception to the rule.
But there are a lot. There's 147 species of cuckoos.
Sure. But there's how many millions of birds?
Okay, hater. Really, you don't care about the 147 species of cuckoos?
No, I think it's interesting. It just shouldn't break your brain because you can have exceptions to everything. Like bears. You technically can't imprint mammals. You can only habituate them.
Yeah.
But bears are so smart, even if you demand them is the technical term to get them to stop relying on people. They're so smart. They're always going to remember that people means easy food, and they're always going to go there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like an exception. They're not imprinted.
Yeah, but that's like an individual bear being smart and being like, this is where I go for food. This is like generations and generations of evolution. I guess on
the I would love to see more research on this because it is crazy. I just don't think you can apply the imprintation rule that we have to them.
I guess, yeah. I think one of the reasons that it breaks my brain is because it's something that I knew nothing about. And so I know that there's so much I don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how many systems are we breaking without even knowing that we're breaking them?
Sure. No, it's the password unlocking call is
what the
hard
hell is that?
To comprehend how it even came about.
What do you think their password is?
1369.
Yeah.
But like it's just really, yeah, no, that's crazy interesting how they got there and where they're gonna be in 10,000 years. Maybe they'll evolve and take over the world.
I don't think so.
It'd be cool.
What do you got?
Okay. All right. I've got sand tiger sharks, not to be confused with tiger sharks or sand sharks.
Or sand sharks.
They're separate.
Okay.
Here we have a picture of them.
Oh, wow.
They look menacing. Please describe what you're seeing.
Handsome. Looks like a shark. Kind of like a more brown shark. Crazy teeth. Like 3 rows of teeth. Yeah. 4 rows of teeth maybe on the bottom. Curved. Super sharp. Yeah.
They look menacing, but I want to say they have no confirmed fatalities of people. They really don't mess with people at all. They'll go after like bait from people spearfishing and stuff like that, but like they're really gentle giants, I guess. But on the contrary, humans mess with them a lot.
Boo.
They are critically endangered. Sad.
A lot of sharks are endangered.
Yeah, these guys are on the big decline because
they're bad parents.
Well, that's part of it. The other part is shark fin soup. Apparently, they're like really good in shark fin soup.
Oh my god, it's so sad.
If you guys don't know what it is, it's generally like an Asian food, and they will catch the sharks, cut off just the fins, and then throw the sharks back. And they do this in massive quantities. Just keep the fins and put them in soup, and it's supposed to, I don't know what it's all supposed to be good for. Very expensive, very illegal, even in most Asian markets, very illegal. So they're trying to crack down on it because it's causing a big issue. So they normally inhabit the continental shelf from shallow waters to deep reefs. Max, so they've been seen as at 630 feet down or 191 meters. Here's a map of where they're at. They're all around. Mm-hmm. Really cool. They used to live in the Mediterranean Sea, but they haven't been seen there since 2003 because they're now believed to be extinct in there, which really sucks. They can reach sizes of 10.5 feet or 3.2 meters. So like decently large sharks.
Yeah.
They can live for or from 15 to 40 years, depending on how heavily hunted they are in the region. They love to eat bony fish, crustaceans, squid, skates, and other sharks. They're the only shark species known to do this. They will go up to the surface, gulp some air, and then they'll be able to swim back down to the ocean floor and be neutrally buoyant without like sinking down too far. And they have to spend no energy to sit at like the floor of the ocean. And then
at that size, that's bizarre.
It's the only shark species that they've seen do this. And then they can just do a little tail flip to like just glide along the surface without much energy.
Cool.
It's a really cool way that they can save energy. So what makes them bad parents? And it's not just these sharks that do it. So these sharks, there's a lot of sharks that do ovoviviparous births and stuff like that. So ovoviviparous, you've heard this before if you've listened to Maya's bug talks.
For what it's worth,
it's a really hard
I
word to
understand
say.
that I say that word wrong, so I think now you're saying it wrong.
Am I saying it wrong?
I think it's ovoviviparous.
Oh.
Is no, it? And that's my fault.
No, I've heard them on okay, well, granted they weren't scientists, but like CBS called them ovoviviparous.
Whatever. You know what we mean.
Ovoviporous? Is that what you said?
Ovoviviparous.
Okay. That word, the O word, which means they develop the eggs inside their body. They hatch those eggs inside their body and eventually give birth.
It looks like live birth, yeah.
Of the offspring. Kind of interesting. Side note, I love this drawing so much. It kind of gives an in-depth look at these sharks and kind of how their reproduction works. But I want to get this printed and put it on my wall.
It's cool.
Beautiful. Anyway, that was a side note. So the females have 2 uteri. They can hold up to 24 eggs per uterus. And I'm going to tell you this so you can kind of go down this rabbit hole with me. They generally only birth, quotes, air quotes, birth 1 to 2 sharks.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say there's no shot that they're doing 24 a year.
So the egg, like one of the eggs hatches, and the firstborn generally is the luckiest. So that baby shark will start eating their brothers and sisters.
Okay.
They start eating the embryos. Sometimes inside the uterus.
Ow.
And sometimes they don't get all the eggs or all the embryos, and then they battle it out in there. And the larger one generally will eat the smaller one if it's skilled enough and strong enough.
It's giving bug. I've never heard something like this in like a vertebrate. Yes.
Oh yeah, giving okay, like bugs.
Why is this happening inside of a vertebrate?
It's not just these sharks. I mean, it's quite a few sharks that'll do this.
Wow. Ow.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath inside the uterus.
That's awful.
Imagine what the mom feels. So, why do they do this? Why do they waste all this energy, like to create 24 eggs?
Big time resources off the bat, baby.
Yeah.
Buffet for my newborn.
I guess so. They don't actually know though, because like they could just give it to them in different ways instead of making it like that.
Right.
So I mean, I honestly, they're just the bad mom of the year. I mean, they're just having a battle royale.
I don't know.
I think
that's really resourceful.
You could just give it to them in a much less gruesome way.
I guess.
But I mean, she's definitely the bad mom of the year because she definitely has a choice in how her biology works.
Right. Yeah.
Definitely. Sarcasm.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you.
It takes 8 to 9 months for pups to be quote unquote born. So they're like doing this like once a year if they're lucky. So that makes it, that reproductive rate is just really great for them to recover from the critical endangered species status. Again, sarcasm. I actually have to start saying sarcasm so some people know.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. I've read some comments like, I don't understand. Like, oh, he's sarcastic. Oh, okay. I don't pick up on that. So now I just gotta help.
You can say hi, Connor, in the comments if you want. I unfortunately don't read them.
Hello. No, it's a crazy bloodbath in there. Like I just couldn't imagine what it would feel like.
Yeah, that's awful.
So it's
Well, it's a bit of a sacrifice in a lot of ways, both for herself and for her children, for her child. So
1 to 2. Anyway,
do what you got to do.
I will say, I'm glad they didn't like become like the Tasmanian devils of the ocean, though.
Yeah.
Because you would think that upbringing would bring that out of them. But no, they're just really nice.
Huh.
To people, anyway. Terrors to other small individuals, but.
Well.
Oh, quiz time? Let's do it. What's the score?
Maya's at 8. You have 7.
L.
All right, I'll tie it up here.
Okay, speaking of the ocean, what word refers to small organisms that are unable to move themselves against the ocean current?
You said the name of the organism?
The word.
The word?
Yeah.
Staticism.
No.
That's all I got.
They're unable to move themselves against the current.
Yes. What word refers to small organisms, plants or animals?
Staleism. Concretism.
It's in SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, you got this, Maya. Lock in.
It's SpongeBob SquarePants.
It's inside of it. Yeah, inside of SpongeBob.
Nematodes.
No. Plankton. That's the word.
I thought it was gonna be like a word for like the
behavior.
Yeah, like what you were doing.
Gotcha. Plankton.
Well, nematodes.
Well, thank you guys so much. I hope these are everything you hope for with bad parents.
Yeah. And I hope that gives you some insight and some hope, and I hope you go back home and say, you know what? My parents are all right.
I was trying to find a joke there, and I appreciate that you found one like that. That was way better than what I was thinking.
A little more harmless
you.
than what yours is going to be.
Deep rabbit hole there about my bad mom.
Like and subscribe, or else.
Yeah.
And check us out on Patreon, or else.
We'll see you there. Goodbye.
Or else.
You gonna shoot me? No.
You're supposed to put up a gun.
It's just weird if I put up a gun, no?
Like and subscribe.
What, I'm doing on my own too? Screw you.